Hi there, welcome to Tarot Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Capricorn energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Capricorn energy, and the bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Capricorn energy. We've all got our dualistic nature, and we kind of battle within ourselves. Do I have hope and faith and belief in in myself? Do I believe in love? Do I love myself? Have I healed from my fears or my insecurities or my self-limiting nature? Do I make my life more about the world or my ego or my fear or my codependency? So some people could be battling within themselves right now. Life's about learning lessons and freeing ourselves from the things that manipulate us, and some people are going to be moving forward. I view high vibe Capricorn energy as freeing yourself from the things that manipulate you, because shadowy Capricorn energy is represented by the devil. Those things that manipulate us and get a hold on us. Just be our ego, can be the world, self-limiting beliefs, materialism, indulgence. Some people have healed, grown, matured, expanded their perception of themselves in some way. And those people are going to be moving forward in life differently. And there's going to be some people in their life or in the world that don't view life that way. And they're not going to be moving forward at this point in time. And sometimes those are people in our life that we wish would be moving forward with us, but they're not. So we all tap into Capricorn energy. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story, where some other people are at in your life. The reason for the high vibe people's reading is the Three of Swords, which is Libra energy represented by the scales of justice. You and some other people in your life could view what you think is just and fair differently. Your truth could be different than their truth. They could like to live more from their mind than their heart. And maybe because of past pain and heartbreak, they're not ready to move forward in life differently. And the first card out for the top row is the Four of Swords. It comes after the Three of Swords. I've had my own pain, heartbreak, self-limiting beliefs, but I have seen the truth. I'm not willing to give up on my dreams and my dreams of love and loving myself and believing in myself just because other people in the world aren't on the same page as me, aren't motivated and inspired by the same things I am, might love someone else instead of loving me. I'm going to deal with the truth. And the truth is, my dreams aren't codependent on a certain person being in my life. My dreams are about working with people who are on the same page as me at any given moment in time in my life. And if there's people in your life in like the Page of Swords energy, which can be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, that are defensive to maybe with the Ten of Pentacles coming out sideways, they can't decide if they want to work with you, be in a long-term relationship with you, if they want to put in work and effort to see the truth. They could be people who hold back the truth. Maybe they harness shadowy Capricorn energy in the Four of Pentacles. Maybe they're not very open, very giving, not willing to move forward in life differently, have this old way of viewing life, which you could kind of find immature. We all have come into some type of understandings at different times in our life where if there's people in our life that kind of seem to be immature, who aren't sure if they want to work with us or not, I think the high vibe people are holding back from those people. I don't want to engage with you. You can't decide, if you want to put in work and effort or not, or if you're willing to see the truth, reflect on the truth, be more just and fair. And then in turn, the high vibe people are standing in their truth. And to the people in their world who think it's their truth could be, I'm more aligned with the world, or I'm not willing to change. From the 4 to the 10 of Pentacles would be the 6 of Pentacles, which it would be about equal give and take, exchanging time, energy, and effort together, bringing something into the 3D reality. And if some people have decided to hold back, to not open up, to not do equal give and take with you, I think you're standing in your truth. And right now you could just be in the process of getting to the truth. So then from the 4 of Swords, to have a new beginning in truth, you need to complete a cycle of the 10 of Swords. So then the 4 of Pentacles kind of represents the 6 of Swords. Because in order to come out with a new truth, we have to work through the whole process, which completing a cycle is a 10, and we're dealing with swords here. So the 4 of Pentacles kind of represents the 10 of Swords. From the 4 to the 10 is the 6. And the 6 of Swords is about moving forward to bring a dream into reality. And there could have been certain people, some of you could have been dealing with a Libra, or just someone who you thought would be just and fair, and they just don't seem to be just and fair, or what they think is just and fair, and what they're motivated and inspired by is different than what you think is just and fair, and what you're motivated and inspired by. So I think people took this time to meditate on the truth. Loving people act like this. People who are motivated to be just and fair are just and fair. People who act with character and integrity act with character and integrity. People who are loving act lovingly, and just realizing that you need to hold back from people who are kind of immature, who their idea of what they think is just and fair is different than what you think is just and fair. And I think you're taking that time in the 4 of Pentacles to take the time to heal, to work through all your different thoughts. We have a lot of complex thoughts and emotions about people. I love them. I hate them. I never want to talk to them. I hope they call me today. And it's hard. It's confusing. And so it does take, in high vibe Capricorn energy, to invest a lot of time, energy, and effort to work through all those conflicting thoughts and feelings that we have towards people to get to the truth. And then when you get to the Page of Swords, in high vibe, the Page of Swords is, you know what? I've worked through the anger. I've worked through the frustration. I've worked through the pain, the heartbreak, maybe feeling deceived and manipulated and backstabbed or betrayed. And it's kind of coming to a place of peace about it, where it's like, I'm past the anger. I'm past all of that. I don't choose to be in that energy. And I did this work to heal and just see the truth that some people have some lessons to learn in life. Life's about learning lessons. Some people have learned some of those lessons more so than other people about being just and fair in a relationship, being truthful, being honest, being authentic, treating other people the way they like to be treated. Because some people, they think it's just and fair that it's more about them. That can be the shadowy 4 of Pentacles. And since it's kind of representing the 6 of Swords, it can be people who kind of, in their Aquarius energy, regardless of what zodiac sun sign they are, we all harness these traits and characteristics of the zodiac signs in either a more high vibe way or a more worldly, shadowy way. Some people in their 6 of Swords energy are kind of a little more egotistical or self-centered, or they're more materialistically motivated. And it's more about their ego and their image, or other people they think should indulge them in a relationship. Everyone else should put aside their pride and ego in this relationship, but not me. I'm the star of the show. So some people can be kind of full of themselves. And it's just seeing the truth of it, because the truth sets us free. Then we're not stuck anymore. I'm no longer in illusion about the truth of who you are. I see that you're kind of more motivated by the world. Okay, I don't give as much power to that in my life as some other people might, you know? Some people make their whole life, Capricorn energy is about kind of what do we feel is the type of legacy we want to leave and what we view as like victorious. Some people, it's all about ego and image. The most important thing is, how do other people view me? Financially, am I keeping up with the Joneses? Am I beating other people? Am I shining brighter than other people? Do I look like a shining star? For some people, that's the most important thing in their life. And other people, high vibe energy is about being balanced. We all want these things of the world. We'd all like to have stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things in life, but some people haven't made that the priority in their life. It's like, it's about give and take. And if I also want loving, nurturing, supportive people in my life, I need to work cooperatively with people, and maybe some of the things I could attain in my life if I weren't in relationships with loving, nurturing, supportive people, I would accomplish. But I'm an emotionally complex human being who has emotional, spiritual needs, and if I want to have the best of both worlds, I need to be someone who acts with character and integrity, treats other people the way I want to be treated. That when is enough? Can we work together and both of us put in work and effort to have stability and security and abundance and joy and happiness and love? And some people just don't even value love. Love is a danger zone. I get hurt doing that. I want to be in relationships more for it's good for my ego and my image, or I want to be in the relationship for stability or security, or I'm codependent and I'm immature and I'm looking for someone to indulge me. But they're not doing the work to free themselves and grow and heal and mature themselves to be open to giving and receiving love. And so I think the high vibe people are like, maybe there's some people who could have communicated with you as you were moving forward in your life. Either people you met, people from your past, pop back up on your path. And they could be like, wait a minute, I want to heal things with you. I want to hold on to you. Or you're someone, I want my foundation. And you're like, well, I'm not sure if I want to work with you in a long-term foundation. If I already know you, and I already know that you've done some hurtful things, some things that could have seemed selfish, manipulative, prideful, egotistical. I don't know if I want you in my long-term foundation. And the Page of Swords in that regard would be kind of like, I wish you peace. I'm not in an angry, defensive nature anymore. I'm just speaking my truth from a place of balance. Some people were hoping that if they had the idea, instead of taking action in truth and love and justice and fairness, some people were like, I have an idea. I'm going to hold back from someone. I bet that'll kind of hurt them and kind of destabilize them, and maybe they won't love and believe in themselves as much or believe in their dreams, or it'll confuse them and they won't know what the truth is and they won't know whatever. And I think some high vibe people are like, I see the truth that I'm going to keep maintaining balance within myself. And it's just to see the truth that I don't know if you're someone who I want to move forward with anymore, because I'm not sure that we're on the same page because you were hurtful or unkind or holding back the truth or being immature or something like that. Okay, let's go look at the bottom row. The reason for the bottom row's reading is the Two of Swords, which is Libra energy again. So it looks like a big theme in Capricorn energy is what is just and fair. The Two of Swords kind of talks about, I do have this dualistic nature. What is my truth? Is it having hope and faith and belief in my dreams and believing I deserve to be in just and fair and balanced and supportive, encouraging relationships, workplaces, friendships? It's hard because I have some people in my life who I might have love for, that I wanted to have move forward with me, but they seem to kind of be in denial of the truth that maybe they're kind of in their Libra Capricorn energy. They have a certain way of viewing life that maybe isn't conducive and on the same page as me. Their dream is different than my dream. Might be more materialistically motivated. Maybe hold back from letting their more hopeful, believing inner child nature out to play in the world. So it's kind of like working with someone who kind of operates more from their emotionally defensive, egoic nature. And it's like, and the whole thing is, some people choose to live their life like that. Why do we do what we do? It makes us feel balanced within ourselves at any given time, and to live our life differently when we're not ready to live our life differently, and we try to force ourselves to live our life differently and put ourselves in situations that we're not prepared for, it can throw our life out of balance. So some people are living their life in the way they need to live their life based on where they're at right now, maybe emotionally. And from the 4 to the 10 is the 6 of Pentacles, and that's Taurus energy. And that can have to do with, maybe just some lessons that people have learned, and how people view life, how people view the workplace, how people view relationships, and what they think is just and fair in those type of relationships. And some people can view life and relationships any way they want. Some people are in denial of the truth that it should be love, that it should be just and fair. Let's go look at the bottom row. So we have the 5 of Wands, 10 of Cups, the Temperance card, and the Queen of Swords not showing itself. So the 5 of Wands can talk about inner conflict. Some people have inner conflict about aligning with their more hopeful, believing nature. They want to be happy, and maybe be in relationships with other people who make them happy. And the Temperance card is like a universe card in a way, a major arcana card. The divine is working with everyone in the world, trying to help them balance out their strong emotions and to deal with their inner conflict. But some people that are kind of in a more worldly or shadowy view of life, maybe are people who reject looking at life from a higher perspective, to think that there is more to this world than just them. Because the Queen of Swords is Aquarius energy, just like the 6 of Swords that we talked about. Some people could be in denial that they even lack hope and faith and belief in love, or that they can attain their dreams, or again, that there's more to life than just what the world says, because they've bought in hook, line, and sinker that the most important thing in the world is whatever the world says. And if the world told me that if I sit in my front yard and eat apples and bananas so that when everybody drives by, they see I'm sitting in my front yard eating apples and bananas, what a great life I got, look how abundant I am, look how victorious and successful I am, they'd sit in their front yard and eat apples and bananas. It's just being so caught up in the things of the world, of ego and image. And they could be people who try to hide from the world that they are very ego-driven. And for some, like materialistically driven. My truth is the world. If the world says this is what I should do, that people will view me as a victorious, successful person, then that's what I'm going to do. And, they have inner conflict about believing there's anything more important than the world viewing them a certain way. And they want people to view them like a shining star in the world. But they don't want people to know that, because then if they were kind of all about that and were to tell people that, people maybe wouldn't get in relationships with them, And they also could be kind of self-centered and egotistical and all about themselves. And they're defensive. We've all been in relationships before that didn't work out the way we wanted, where we've been heartbroken. And some people, instead of dealing with the truth, okay, why didn't that work out? How did I contribute to that not working out? What kind of people was I in relationship with? Was I prideful? Was I immature? Do I have growing up and healing and whatever to do? Was I going out with people who are immature and impulsive? Was I trying to move forward in a relationship with someone who has healing and growing and maturing to do? And instead, they get heartbroken. And instead of dealing with the truth of it, oh, I have some things I need to work on within me. And also, ding, 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 maybe I was going out with someone who's kind of immature or prideful or egotistical or selfish or greedy or self-centered or bossy or controlling or immature, whatever their issue is. And just deal with the truth instead of staying in denial of the truth and maybe taking it personally. Like it's a reflection of our worth and value. We're all on different pages and motivated and inspired by different things at different times. Some of us are more healed and grown and matured than other people. Some of us have learned how to play nicely with others, and some people not so much. Some of us are more motivated to be just and fair than other people. And instead of seeing the truth and healing from it, they decided to hold back from their more hopeful, believing nature because somebody broke their heart. And then instead of dealing with the truth of it, now they have a lot of inner conflict about being happy or believing in themselves and believing in their dreams, because the Ten of Cups is Pisces energy, emotional water sign energy of having hope and faith and belief in your dreams. And they just try to balance out their emotions and hide from the fact that things didn't work out the way they wanted at one point in time. And they feel betrayed, but they don't want to deal with the truth of it. For some of them, a relationship didn't work out the way they wanted because these people, shadowy Five of Wands, they could be someone who's quite competitive. They get in relationships with people and everybody's the competition. I don't want to see the truth that I'm very competitive, that I have inner conflict, that in order to make myself feel better, everybody's the enemy to defeat. And I build my ego off of competing with people to show that I'm better than them. But I don't want people to know that because I'm defensive, I've kind of aligned with my more egotistical, defensive nature. And now I'm out to prove to everybody that I'm better than them. Well, who wants to be in relationships with people who is supposed to be like a love interest, and then they treat you like the enemy they need to defeat? Some people are in denial that they're competitive. Some people are in denial they're egotistical and self-centered. Some people are in denial that they're very motivated by the world and looking like a shining star in the world. We can't make people see the truth. When they're ready to see the truth, if they ever are ready to deal with the truth of it, they will. But until they do, some other people who could have at one point in time been working with these people like this, defending people like this, because they could be part of their family, brothers, sisters, parents. They could have been someone they wanted to have a long-term relationship with. Could have had a family with them, wanted to have a family with them. And for a long time, they could have defended these type of people in their life, because we can all go through a period of being in a relationship with people and we don't want to see the truth, and we're not speaking our truth because we don't want to be defensive to something that we wanted to have move forward victoriously. And so for a long time, we can kind of stay in denial of the truth. And there's some people right now that are in kind of a mismatched relationship who have a lot of inner conflict, but they're trying to maintain balance within it. Some of those people don't want to see the truth. Some of those people don't want to speak their truth. They don't want to see that maybe they should stand up for themselves and say, are we moving forward in love? Are we going to have a new inspired beginning in the King of Swords energy of Libra in truth and love and justice and fairness? The truth is, it was supposed to be about love. But sometimes we don't want to let it go. Because we've already started working on building a foundation with someone. We wanted it to be a long-term stable foundation. And if we kind of speak the truth and acknowledge that I have inner conflict in this environment, I feel stuck, I feel like people are defensive to love, that people are defensive to being inspired by truth and love, but I could love this person, so I don't want to let the foundation go, because then I'd be sad. But the whole thing is, are we going to keep moving forward in a very unstable foundation where some people are motivated to live their life in a way that's not aligned with truth and love, justice, fairness, character, integrity? I would say, it's maybe going to fall or be very unstable and very unhappy anyway. And I think God wants us to listen to our intuition, to, shadowy energy is about imprisoning us, enslaving us, trapping us, staying in something because of our ego. We can tell people our truth. I love you. I would like you to move forward in a long-term foundation. I am moving forward. If you want to come with, come with. But you have to be willing to speak the truth. Cut the things out of your life you need to cut out. You need to see it's supposed to be about love. You need to deal with your regrets of the past and detach from the regrets of the past and the things that manipulate you to be free. And the Knight of Pentacles wants to become a King of Pentacles, which I also view as Capricorn energy. If you want to be free of the things that manipulate you, it takes work and effort. You have to reflect on the past pain and heartbreak or whatever it is that stops you from being open to love. And if you want to keep being defensive and turn your back on the truth that it's supposed to be about love, then I'm sorry, but I'm leaving. And eventually, at some point in time, some people who are still being patient with someone, still not speaking their truth, still not wanting to deal with the truth, feeling stuck, not standing up for themselves, not maybe speaking their truth, or, people can do that for a long time, hoping eventually the other people get on the same page as them. But if the other people keep like, what, like I'm not supposed to be lazy or bossy or immature or controlling or prideful or egotistical or more consumed with the world than a loving, balanced relationship and balance in my life, some people are going to stay stuck in it for quite longer. And, sometimes when you decide to speak your truth, take action in truth, move on with your life, you kind of see people have the free will choice of how they're going to live their life. And sometimes people choose to do hurtful things to cause sometimes people don't like it when other people love and believe in themselves and have healed and are going to move forward in life differently, then they're going to move forward differently. So it's kind of like shadowy energy competing with loving energy. I don't like that you love and believe in yourself. I don't like that you've healed. I don't like that you have that hopeful believing nature. I don't have that hopeful believing nature, but I don't want to deal with it and see the truth of it. So I'm going to make you like you're the problem, instead of realizing their problem isn't people outside of them. Their problem is something emotionally within them that they don't want to see the truth of. Maybe they're people who gave up on their dreams, the Queen of Swords, Aquarius energy, which represented by the Star card. Maybe they're people who gave up on their dreams a long time ago, and they thought, if I make my life about competing in the world, I'm sure that'll make me happy. If I make my life, the Five of Wands can be like the competition. If I align with the competition, I have the free will choice to align with hope and faith and belief and love and think I have more things to work with than just the things of the world. I could listen to my intuition. I could let love guide my decisions. I could have hope and faith and belief in my dreams. But some people a long time ago gave up on that and they aligned with the competition. They're sure that if they have indulged in these things of the world, invest in having the status or the image or the power or whatever, that they'll be happy. And that, their long-term goal in the Knight of Pentacles, wanting to become the King of Pentacles, in their Capricorn energy, they could be sure that if they put time, energy, and effort either to indulge in the world or have this money or status or image or power, that they'll be happy. Some of you have already indulged in those things of the world, and you've realized that just having those things of the world doesn't make you happy. Some of these other people haven't learned that lesson yet. But so long as that's their truth, and some of them could like to live more from their mind and their heart, and they turn their back on the truth that it's supposed to be about love. And they're like, no way, love, I could get hurt. I'm not doing that. I'm sure if I have those things of the world, I'll be happy. And so that's what their truth is. And you're standing in your truth and standing up for what you believe in. And as you're moving forward in life, you're listening to your intuition about who you think is balanced between their mind and their heart and their worldly nature and their more loving, intuitive nature, and who is like tipped out of balance into their more living more from their mind and their heart. And I think as some of you are moving forward, you could have communicated to different people in your world that you could have thought was and feel is maybe on the same page as you. Again, between friends, family, anybody, or someone you think is a potential romantic interest if you're not in a relationship right now. You could have communicated to some people. I learned some lessons in life, and we come into contact with all these different people in the world to help us get clear about our truth. And you learn some lessons in life about people who do, if you're a loving, giving, nurturing person, it can be hard to believe that if you get in a relationship with someone and you love each other and everything, that people would be defensive to love. And sometimes you can be in a relationship with someone a long time until it gets to be where the relationship is supposed to grow and mature more, where people do let their more inner child, more vulnerable nature out to play. And that's when the relationship can come to a skidding halt, because it's like, oh, I thought we were doing this. I didn't know we were ever, or you were going to heal and let your more authentic, hopeful, believing, vulnerable nature out to play in the world. And now you want me to also brakes on, forget that. No, 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 no. And sometimes that's when the relationship can end. And I think you're just communicating to people. I've learned these lessons in life that even though you can be in relationships with people and there can be love there, and you could have all wanted a dream to come into reality, when it got to be where people are more authentic and vulnerable and a relationship grows and matures and deepens, I found out some people, that's not their dream life. And their dream life could be, I'm good staying right here and kind of making my life, holding on to this more worldly view of life and living more from my mind than my heart. And so then you communicate with people that I'm moving forward. I have held back from some people and detached from some people and healed from some people that aren't on the same page as me. I am moving forward. Who wants to come with? As you're moving forward, different people you could meet, people from your past could pop up. There's going to be some people that want to stop you because they want you to hold on to them and be the next person that you hold on to or re-hold on to them. And I think you're just going to speak your truth. This is what I am looking for in a relationship. And if you are someone I know, that doesn't seem to be who you are. If it's someone you don't know, I think the Page of Swords just means small offers, kind of getting to know people before you invest yourself fully into a relationship. I will hold back my more vulnerable, authentic nature because we don't reveal that to everyone in the world. We have a lot of people we're social acquaintances with, and people at work, and people in social settings. I will be getting to know people to figure out what the truth of their foundation is before I decide if I am willing to invest time, energy, and effort to have a more long-term, more where I let my even more authentic nature or vulnerable nature, because we're not that, we can know all sorts of people and we could have known them for 10 years, but we don't let we keep it on a certain plane of relationship, and we reveal our more vulnerable, authentic nature to people who we feel won't hurt us and that there is a potential for a more deep, meaningful relationship with them, And so I think high vibe people would get to know people, communicate with people. If anyone pops up in their life who they think is kind of immature and is operating more from heartbreak or ego or competitiveness, maybe trying to get someone else in their ego, it's like, I don't want to be in relationships with people who are playing games or using me as a pawn in their game of manipulation. And because shadowy energy can be about trying to manipulate people and control people kind of for their own agenda. And I don't think some high vibe people don't want to play those games. People are either authentic and truthful and honest. And I think some of the people that could pop up in your life or back in your life or that you meet, you're going to be authentic. You're not trying to manipulate and control people. You're not going to make grand gestures. You're just going to get to know people and be authentic and listen to your intuition about who's on the same page as you and who's not before you decide to get in a long-term foundation with them. What's coming up for the high vibe people that they might not see coming up? We have the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Death card, and the Tower card because of the Ten of Swords. So the death card can talk about emotionally detaching from some people in our life. And the Tower card can be, again, detaching from a foundation. If you know there's people in your life that do align with living more from their mind than their heart, and they're not really building their life and wanting to be in relationships more based on love, I think because you love yourself and you've learned these lessons in life, emotionally, you're ready to emotionally detach from those people and let that foundation go. You've completed the cycle in the Ten of Swords. In love, so the kings can talk about us taking action in the world. The queens can talk about how we think and feel. You offered love to yourself, and that way in the Four of Pentacles can kind of be yourself, your foundation of self, and your dreams to invest in loving. Love is the answer to healing. And see, the truth that hurt people hurt people. Some people do live more from their mind than their heart. Some people have a lot of inner conflict they don't deal with. Some people are very egotistical and self-centered and bossy and controlling and materialistic. And I think from a place of love, you were able to work through a painful ending. Some of you could have felt backstabbed and betrayed. And just seeing the truth so you can emotionally detach that we're not on the same page. They're not who I thought they were. And the Tower is that I can't have a long-term foundation with someone who harnesses their energies in a more worldly, shadowy way. If they're not motivated and inspired by truth and love, then I can't move forward with them. And then there's other people that do see that because you have detached from some old ways of living life, old relationships, old workplaces, old ways of viewing life, that you have learned to love and believe in yourself and you're not backstabbing and sabotaging yourself, there's other people that are going to want to invest in you, and you might know people that you could move forward with where you could transform your life because you've both, that's what High Vibe Scorpio is about. And I view the Queen of Cups as Scorpio too. You know, people who want to have deep, meaningful relationships, people who are willing to get out of their head and their fear and their more immature defensive nature to being authentic and vulnerable and loving in relationships. And there's going to be other people who see that you have done this, and you're going to meet other people that have went through similar life experiences. And those are the people you're going to want to invest in. They're going to want to invest in you because they see that you're emotionally detached from whatever had been involved in your past, and you see that they've emotionally detached from those old ways of living life too, and they're ready to move forward in truth and justice and fairness. You know, the difference between the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords is the Seven of Swords, which again is Aquarius energy about I have a dream, but it's not where it's about, in High Vibe, it's about listening to your intuition. We can all have mental conflict and some fears and insecurities about things, but High Vibe people let love and intuition guide their decisions. The other people are settling maybe for a more shadowy Seven of Swords, a more worldly dream, where by worldly standards it could all look wonderful, but it might be more out of fear or insecurity or codependency or materialism, or where both people maybe don't want to be more vulnerable or authentic, you know? So a little more in shadowy Scorpio energy of more emotionally, a little more emotionally shallow and superficial. So the High Vibe people are going to get to a place emotionally where they can, it's completely, have completed the cycle. I did the healing. I'm back to a place of balance within myself. I'm ready to invest in a new beginning. I'm ready to completely close that chapter out of my life and move forward. And there's other people that are going to be on the same page as you. What is coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Capricorn energy that they might not see coming up? Well, they could be surprised that people are harnessing high vibe Aries and high vibe Taurus energy, that they're inspired by the truth. And the Five of Pentacles moves on from the Four of Pentacles. A foundation I had been holding on to, or a way of viewing life, or my fear, or my insecurity, or my self-limiting beliefs, I've worked through all of those things to be inspired by the truth. That life is about learning lessons. Life is about growing and maturing, and I've seen the truth. And so I'm willing to let go. My dreams aren't codependent on a certain person. It's more to work with people who harness their thoughts and their emotions and their whatever in a high vibe way. And some of the people I could have wanted to heal things with or move forward with aren't there. And they may never be there. So the high vibe people are moving forward in truth and love for themselves and healing. And some of them could be shocked by it because previously, before, some people that were in the midst of it had been unwilling to speak their truth. Now, that's the Queen of Swords, like emotionally not speaking their truth. But now some people are taking action, because the kings can talk about taking action. And we all take action kind of in masculine energy. And the queens represent how we think and feel. Some of the people that were trying to manipulate and control people, or kind of trying to compete with people and destabilize people, they didn't realize that the other people were doing this work within themselves emotionally to look at life from a higher perspective and work through their fears and their insecurities about believing in themselves and believing in their dreams. And then one day those people speak their truth. I feel left out in the cold in this situation. I have a lot of inner conflict of continuing to move forward in this situation. I've taken some time to think about what motivates and inspires me, and based on what seems to motivate and inspire you, I've offered you love to try to encourage you to see the truth that it's about love, to get more balanced within yourself, to encourage you to speak your truth, to align with your more loving, hopeful, believing nature. But if you keep choosing not to deal with your past pain and heartbreak that stops you from moving forward in the way that I want to move forward, I can't keep staying in an environment with people who aren't willing to free themselves, because I have a dream. And if that's not your dream, I wish you peace and joy. I hope it works out for you, but I'm not going to stay imprisoned with you. And that's sometimes what is going on in shadowy people. If it's their fear, if it's their insecurity, if it's their ego, if it's the world that manipulates them, if it's other people in their life that manipulate them. It's like whatever manipulates you doesn't manipulate me. They don't have a hold on me, or those things don't have a hold on me. And I have healed and freed myself to be more authentically myself in the world, to love myself, to believe in myself, to quit backstabbing myself, to not let other people backstab me. If you want to keep backstabbing yourself, let the world backstab you, let other people in your life backstab you. That's your free will choice. But I'm not going to let those same things do that to me, because that's not my truth and my reality. So they could be shocked that some people are detaching and moving forward in life, that they're bold and brave enough to love and believe and offer love to their philosophy of life, to detach from an old way of living life, to step forward, to face their fears and insecurities, to kind of like move forward into unknown territory. And they're not willing to do that because we all repeat a pattern of way of living life until we heal or grow or mature or change our perception and the truth sets us free. And some people right now do not want to deal with the truth, that maybe they should stand up for themselves, that maybe they should invest in being motivated and inspired by the truth and justice and fairness and balance. And, what is it? Because they're tipped out of balance right now. What is it that makes them, the King of Swords and Shadow, I look at it as people kind of letting their more self-defensive nature. My self-defensive nature makes me feel safe. So it's kind of like letting their ego or their mind, you get hurt doing love, you need to stay over here where you don't get hurt. And they kind of let their fear of being hurt or fear of being judged or standing up for themselves dictate their life. But their truth could be that they are motivated and inspired more by themselves, and shadowy Taurus energy can be the world. I'm more motivated and inspired by the world. This is how I live my life. And they might have someone who wants to come get in a relationship with them who harnesses these energies in a more worldly view. The people who are motivated and inspired by truth and love, those people are moving on. But they might have someone who comes in their life that wants to move forward with them, living life the way they live it, because that's their truth too. And then, we kind of have a more balanced relationship. But for people who are defensive to love, to try to get in a relationship with someone who's loving and nurturing and supportive, you be that way and let me be the way I am. I like being in a relationship with someone who's not fearful or insecure or competitive or prideful or egotistical or selfish or greedy or bossy, but I might be those ways. So you get to be in a relationship with me and I get to be in a relationship with you. So they kind of get loving, nurturing people to be in their life, but they're not that type of person. And eventually high vibe people see that. And it's like, why am I putting in so much work and effort trying to get someone to love and believe in themselves? How about, because that doesn't seem to be working. So why don't instead I go put work and effort into loving myself and believing I deserve to be in relationships with people who treat me the way I treat them, and heal from my own self-limiting beliefs, or maybe repeating a pattern where I'm used to being in a relationship with people like that, to go find the people in the world who are on the same page as me. And then people are in more balanced relationships. And then for some people that are in shadowy energy, they could have a lot of inner conflict because the loving people in their life don't feel betrayed anymore, for some of the people who've already moved away from these people, and that they seem to be very balanced within themselves, which is what the Temperance and the Three of Swords can talk about. They seem very balanced between their mind and their heart. They no longer seem betrayed. And some people wanted people to feel betrayed, and they wanted them heartbroken, and they wanted them to be having all this inner conflict and be in their ego, and maybe wanted them to act out in immature ways or something, or, just kind of get them to act out of character. And the high vibe people are kind of holding on to their more hopeful, believing, loving nature, and they're healing, and they're loving themselves, and they're doing this work within themselves to emotionally detach from these people. And then some of the shadowy people that were trying to manipulate those people, they're hiding the fact that now they feel betrayed because they thought they could control people. I know, I have an idea. I'm going to leave you out in the cold. I'm going to cause you inner conflict. I'm going to hold back from you. I'm going to do hurtful and unkind things. I'm going to act prideful and egotistical and be full of myself. And you're going to feel backstabbed and betrayed. And I bet that as you move forward in life, maybe you'll give up on standing in your truth that it's about love because you're sad. And instead of continuing to move forward, you'll look back to me and be willing to do the relationship the way I want to do it. And for some of those people, they took a risk to not be just and fair and open and honest and authentic. And some people have moved on from them. And now they feel betrayed. But the only person who betrayed them was themselves. And now they could be the ones who feel left out in the cold. Shit. I never thought it was going to be me who felt left out in the cold. I thought I was going to do all this stuff to them because I thought I was the boss. And I thought, of course, everybody would want to indulge me in my ego. And I thought for sure I was the center of the show. That nobody would want to move away from me because they view me a certain way. They wanted a dream to come into reality with me. I bet I can use the love that they have for me to manipulate and control them. And the high vibe people are moving on, healed. And now they're the ones who feel left out in the cold. But they might have someone else who wants to be in a relationship with them. Oh, were you left out in the cold? Oh, did some loving people leave you? Do you have inner conflict about hope and faith and belief and love? Perfect. Me too. Let's get in a relationship. Let's move forward. Let's just ignore our regrets of the past and let's move forward, making our life about looking like we've moved forward in life and that we have this new beginning and that it's wonderful. But neither one of us have healed from our lack mentality or our inner conflict, but we don't want to deal with it. So we're both on the same page. Let's move forward in a relationship because other people wanted us to heal, grow, and mature ourselves, and we won't get out of our pride and ego to admit that we maybe have some healing or growing and maturing to do. And let's us move forward in a relationship. And that's a just and fair relationship. For them to be in a relationship with some people who are on the same page as them. And if neither one of them if both of them turn their back on love and neither one of them want to deal with the truth that the reason they turn their back on love is because relationships didn't work out in their past, so that they've decided to make their life more about indulging in their defensive nature or their ego nature or their materialistic nature, they're on the same path. They should be together in a relationship. It's just that the other people who do want to dump their baggage and heal and not stay heartbroken all their life, they meditate on the truth of it to be free of it, and they're ready to move on in life differently. They've been through this pattern of relationship. They learned the lessons they were meant to learn from it. They did the work to heal, to get out of feeling betrayed, motivated and inspired to free themselves, and they did. And some of the other people haven't. So they're going to keep repeating that pattern. So there you go, Capricorn energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.